Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a flip folio with pockets, tags, and journal space. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now when I decided to do this, I like using graph paper. So I just draw everything out on my graph paper, make all my notes, write down my sizes, and cut out all my little pieces, parts. And that's how I do a lot of the stuff that I make. Not everything, but a lot of it. So on this folio, I'm just using coffee dyed paper and some digitals from Hither Yon. They were free digitals. So if you haven't checked out DJ's channel, hop over there and see. She makes all kinds of pretty stuff. Lots of good ideas. So I started out with this piece of paper, and these sides I cut off. So my folio is about 10.5 long, and it's 7 and 7 So I'll tell you the size of my flaps. The top flap is 3 1/8 by 4. The center is just over 4.5. Let's see. It's almost 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 by 4. My bottom flap is 2 3/4 by 4. My little side flaps are 2 inches wide and 4 5/8 long. They should be about the same. I trimmed them. This one is about 1 7/8. I trimmed this one down just a little bit more to give me this little space in between. So then these fold in, this folds up, and this folds down. So I have all of my stuff cut out and inked. And of course all my little pieces are labeled. So this is going to be my top flap. And this is going to be my bottom flap. I already have my holes cut, punched for my brads, because I want to do my brads first before I do anything to the inside. And I cut these in advance, these little circles. Now you can cut these however wide you want. I think the big one is about like a 3/4 inch, and the little one is just about a 1/2 inch. And then I cut little tiny ones to put on the back, just to lift it up off of the paper a little bit and to stabilize it. And this is a little bit of a lighter weight card. I just put some coffee dyed paper on the back and punched out of the digital. So that's what I'm doing on both. I just have to find my little holes here so I know for sure where they go. Let me see. I can go ahead and glue these down. Before I glue them though, I'll make sure I find my hole so I don't lose it in the process. I almost have a feeling that I made it in the wrong spot. And if I did, because I was having trouble holding on to it. Oh, I know why it's not there, because I had to move my hole. I had it too close to the edge. So I covered that hole over. Let me just repunch this hole. I will try not to put my head where it doesn't belong. There, that's where it belongs. Here's my old hole, and it made it too close to the edge. So I just put a little piece of washi tape on that already fell off. Oh, I didn't put it on there, I put it on here. So I'll also cover that hole over. So let me do that. No, I don't want this too wide because I don't want it to show past the paper. So we'll just do that. And that'll just cover that little hole right over. Okay, and then on this one, this is just fine. I hope. Let me check this one before we get started, so I make for sure. Yep, that one's right where it belongs. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the top. Make sure I have my outside where it belongs. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Wow, wasn't that exciting? I don't have a crocodile, so I have to use my paper punch or the little awl to make my holes. So sometimes you have to fight with it to figure out where you're going. All right, so I'm going to put this on here. And with them little pieces under there, that'll lift it up off of the background so I can wrap my twine around it. And then I'll just put a little piece of this tape over the brad just to cover it up. These are little sloths, aren't they just beautiful? Okay, now we'll do our bottom. I'll just make for sure that that one gets in the right place. Okay, put this down through there and get in that hole. You don't want to have to redo the paper. Yep, what's in the right place. So that's a good thing. Okay, and then we'll cover, no we won't yet, we have to put this through. Then we'll cover it up. Would have been better if I would have made my holes just a little tiny bit bigger in these. Okay, and then we'll put some more of this over it. And that holds that up off of the paper also. So when we fold these over, oh dear, well that's just going to have to tuck right on under there. This should have been down just a little tiny bit more. I didn't make one in advance, so that's okay. I think it'll be good tucking it under there, because if you get a lot of stuff in here, then that'll also help it hold. And you can see what I did there, so you can always space your stuff out farther. So we'll go ahead and we'll do these, because these are our outside flaps. Now what I wanted on these were pockets. Well, I wanted at least one pocket, but I didn't want to cover up this pretty paper. So I made a slit and a little tag. The tag is just the coffee dyed paper with a little tiny leftover strip off of this digital. And this will just be like a hidden pocket. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. See, and when I fold these out, these are all going to be on the outside. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put a narrow bead of glue on the bottom, and then I'll glue some of this down up here. I don't want to put my glue too thick on the bottom because I don't want to waste my space for my pocket. The tag is not too wide, but I want it to be able to sit down in there. And I thought cutting the slit just made a good idea. So that'll hold that down, and then this will pop up just a little tiny bit. So you can journal on the front and journal on the back. And that'll just slide right down in there. Yay! I like it. Now I made all of these with just a little bit of border around them. Some might have just a little bit wider border, but I kind of don't mind. Oh, I guess I made pockets for both sides. It's on the inside that I made them different. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and that's just going to slide under there. Yep, make sure I do it on the right part. And again, we just have the coffee dyed paper with the little strip. And I did these kind of just to show you that, you know, some of them little strips come in handy. You don't really have to throw all of them away. So I think that looks good. And then when these are closed, it just covers them pockets right up. Okay, I hope I don't have to trim this. If I have to trim that, it won't look right. So I'm not going to trim it. Okay, now we'll do our inside. And this is for my center. This was also part of her digital. So I'm going to glue this down here. And I thought these all went really good with the coffee dyed paper. Guess I didn't get no glue there. Okay, now we're going to have a belly band. It's going to go from here to here. And then we have a little fold out, like a little tri-fold. And that's just out of the digital paper also. Isn't that pretty? Love the design. I made this part just a little bit shorter so it wouldn't have any problem folding in there, and then that's going to sit right under there. So I'm just going to glue my two edges, and I didn't ink this, didn't think about it before I put it on here, but this is also a piece of this leftover paper. Just as decoration on the belly band. I had an idea for a pocket on here, so you could also do a pocket. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, the belly band looked good. So this will slide right under there, and that'll hold that in there. Isn't that cute? All right, so let's do the top one. Now on the top flap, I'm putting this paper down again because I used this as my inside background paper. And then I just made a little envelope out of this paper again. I did the insides out of this paper. And I did the outside out of the pink paper, the pink background. It's the same design, it's just two different color backgrounds. So isn't that pretty cool? I like it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Took me a little while to ink all of these pieces, and if you don't like to ink, you don't have to ink. What I need to really do is get in the habit of when I'm cutting my pieces out, just to go ahead and ink them. But I always think of that after the fact. It's just, you know, more exciting cutting the pieces out, I guess. So we put this on first, so we would be able to cover up our brad with our inside mat. And if you forget to do that, you know, if it's not going to be covered over with something, if it's going to show, this would cover it over, most of it anyway. All you would have to do is just cut a circle and put over it. All right, so now for our pocket, I'm just going to glue up these two sides. And let me see my pocket. I made this about, well, it's almost 5.5 inches long, and it's about 3.25 wide. And so we'll just fold that up, and I just left it down a little away from the top. So this is going to glue on here. Now you can just glue your 3 sides and have another little pocket here. But I think since the brad is there, I'm just going to glue the whole thing down, and then everything can just go inside the pocket. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Normally I leave the back open for that extra little tuck. I guess on this one I won't. So I just kind of center it a little bit. And then my little tags, same as the other tags were made, just fit right down inside, and I made 2 for in there. Now as far as a little closure, well, I didn't think of that. You know what? This glue is not set yet. So what I can do is run this down through here a little bit, just to loosen it a little bit. And let me see what color. Well, I have a white one. This can just slide right over there, maybe. Maybe it won't slide past the... Let's see if I have a metal one. See if it'll slide past that brad. Yes, it will. So that'll slide past that brad. And that can just hold the little envelope shut. And then all you have to do, am I on camera or do I have it up too high? All you have to do is pull it off and pull your tags out. There's always something that you can do. All right, and then I could also put a little piece of ribbon or a little twine on there just to fancy that up a little bit. Now on the bottom, I have this as the background. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. You just want to watch if your paper has direction and you want it to be the right way. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but if you want it to be the right way, just pay attention to your design. This has text on it, so it's all going the same way. I'll just hold that up, smooth that down a little bit, which is probably what I should have done on this side also. Hopefully by doing that I didn't glue my paper clip in. No. All right, now down here, I'm going to have a little pocket. I'm just going to glue the 3 sides. I thought about cutting this one for my my cards to go in. And actually, that's what I was going to do. And before I thought about cutting the slits for the cards to go in, I had this pocket already cut out. So, you know, no sense wasting it. So again, we have our little cards, our little journal cards. And then we'll fit right down in there. Okay. Now on our side flaps, this one goes on the right side. And we're going to have the same kind of pocket over here. And it goes this way. And I'm going to glue this on here as a little bit of a decoration. I have other digitals from Hither Yon that I'm going to be making 1 or 2 little journals out of. So you'll have to tune in to see them. So I'm going to glue this one down the same way. I'm going to glue this part down just a little around the bottom and the sides. This was a fun little project. Okay. And again, on our pocket has the little, or on our tag has the little strip. Sits right down in there nice. Now on this one, and this is our last flap, I'm going to put a belly band on. No, I'm not going to put the belly band on there yet. I have to put my background paper on. So we'll go ahead and glue this down. Okay, that goes there. This is going to be a little belly band. And this is just from the background paper. So I'm just going to glue my 2 sides. And hopefully I have the side, or the size of my little fold out, the right size. Tried to make this one just a little bit wider, so the fold out would fit down in there. And this is just out of the coffee dyed paper. Have journaling on both sides, except I'm going to put the fancy paper on the front, just to gussy it up a little bit. Okay, so you have 5 journal spots, and I left a little bit of a gap here so it would close smooth, and it fits. So how cute is that? I like it. So then we're just going to fold these in. We're going to fold this up. And hopefully with my little paper clip there, I can bend that down just a little bit. Now see, with everything in there, this one doesn't go, the top flap doesn't go down quite as far. So that's good. So you can have your ties or you don't have to have your ties. Now I was trying to figure out which I wanted to do. There's a lot of pink in this, but there's also browns. But I really think I like the pink. So I'm just going to use pink twine. I'm going to tie it on the top, and the little pieces underneath, see, holds this up. So our string, our lace, you can use fabric, ribbon, anything, whatever you want to tie under there. Now just hold it up off of the background paper, and then we'll just snip this off. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a little gap there. And then we'll just come down here. Let me turn it around and wrap it. That's once. That's twice. And I think that's good enough. And we can bring it to this side or leave it to the other side. Now I'm going to grab a little tiny charm because I want to put a charm on this. So hang on a sec, I'm going to be right back. Okay, so while we were off, I just went ahead and tied it on here. I did a little butterfly. I thought the butterfly went good with the flowers and the lace. So we'll just do a quick little walk through. Just untie it. Fold this back. And then we have a little pocket with a couple of tags. And then fold this down. And we have some journaling space here on each flap. And I just think the skinny cards are cute. So we'll flip these open. And we have a skinny little card here. We have 2 cards down here. We have our center fold out. I could have, what I should have done probably was backed this on the coffee dyed paper. And, excuse me, after it's all said and done, I might go ahead and do that. I think it would look better with the coffee dyed paper. It would match all of the rest of these. And we have this fold out. So, what do you think of our little, oh, had to cough and get it over with. What do you think about our little flip folio? Let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that. I like to read them all. So I hope you come back and see me for my next video. And until then, everyone, happy crafting. Bye for now.